We are live with Lunch Break Live. I've got the Vegan Roadie here on the other side, Dustin Harder. What are you making today?
Hello! Making some tried and true nostalgic things. Gonna make some pizza cups today, really fast, made in minutes pizza cups, and then some Crafty one-pot mac and cheese, because who doesn't love mac and cheese in one pot, right?
I am so excited to see how you do this. Take it away. We are riveted. And you've got that great recipe book there. Your recipes are epic.
They sure are. Thank you so much. And thank you for having me. I'll tell you a little bit about this book. It's epic vegan, quick and easy. So the first one we're going to make out of here today is Crafty one pot mac and cheese. And it's just that. It's mac and cheese in one pot. And I did this recipe because I remember coming home from school when I was a kid, and I would want something quick and fast and delicious and hearty and satisfying, and I would make myself some macaroni and cheese from the box. As vegans, we're fortunate. That's starting to happen. It's available in stores, but for a long time, it wasn't. So I created this one a long time ago, and I'm so happy to finally have a home for it in a book. Just a few ingredients, and it's good to go. Really, we've all been about creating cheese sauces as vegans too, so this is sort of hand in hand with that. Essentially, all you need is 1 cup of uncooked pasta. So it's 1 cup of uncooked pasta, and you cook it. And I've already cooked some today, so I'm not going to cook this uncooked pasta, but it's 1 cup of uncooked pasta, right? And then after that's done cooking, you set that aside, and then we're going to mix in the pot. We're going to turn the heat on low to start, and we're going to mix in the 2 tablespoons of vegan butter. Let me get a little spatula here. And just melt our vegan butter in there, right? And then one of my favorite ingredients here, we've got miso, yum, 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 white miso, everybody. And that's gonna give us that cheesy, earthy, delicious flavor, that umami pop to it, right? Yeah. And that's the one that's hard in this pot. You gotta kind of like mix it up a little bit to get the lumps out and everything. So as the butter's melting, you'll wanna start pushing the sides again, the miso against the sides to start to work that out a little bit. And then got a Dijon mustard, so a teaspoon of Dijon mustard here. Adding a little bit of tang and acidity for that cheese flavor, right? And we've got a half teaspoon garlic powder, half teaspoon onion powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric. That turmeric's gonna give us like a nice little yellow color to it, right? I'm working with an induction burner today. If you've ever worked with one of those, it melts things and cooks things super fast. So this is moving a little faster maybe than it normally would on a regular stovetop burner. And
hey, real quickly, Dustin, we got Tom who wants to know, what kind of pasta do you like?
Yes, that's a great question. My favorite kind is actually like a cavatappi pasta. It's like a corkscrew pasta almost. But for this macaroni and cheese, I like to go with traditional elbow macaroni. So that's what I have today. I have a recipe in my last book, the original Epic Vegan book, and it's actually a shells and cheese recipe. Shells mac and cheese. There we go. So I like shells, I like cavatappi, I like elbow. For this one, I'm going traditional today. My butter is melted. My miso's still just a little bit lumpy, so I'm mixing in it a little more. I'm also going to put in, I believe it is a 1/3 cup of unsweetened almond milk. And you want to be careful when you pour that into something like butter or oil, because you don't want to splatter it, right? You don't want to burn yourself.
Yes.
And I've got the nutritional yeast here as well, and it's going to be a 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast. And that also is going to give us that nice, cheesy, earthy flavor that we want. This is when I grab the whisk and I'm able to really start getting a sauce out of it that I'll show you in a moment. I'm not going to leave you hanging, I promise.
Those of you that are just joining us, we are here live on Lunch Break Live, which is on Jane Unchained. We're going to be able to find this recipe on janeunchained.com. As you can see, Dustin Harder is a pro. And I know inquiring minds want to know, why are you called the Vegan Roadie? Give us food.
Why am I called the Vegan Roadie? So I have a web series called The Vegan Roadie. We have 3 seasons. The first two take place in North America. The third one was filmed in Italy. It's like a plant-based version of diners, drive-ins, and dives. So if you've been going, oh my gosh, this show's great, it would be amazing if one existed for vegans. It does. It's there. I promise it exists. 3 full seasons, free episodes to watch. You can watch it on Plant-Based Network. You can watch it on YouTube. It's all free. It's all for you. And it's all high-quality content. I had a really great team create it with me. And we had a lot of fun. I visited a lot of places. Unfortunately, some no longer exist, but I'm glad they exist in memory on that show because of the pandemic. But some are still open and thriving and doing very well. And it's really cool to see, too. I would like to get to do another season covering North America again because so many new places have opened up. We just keep growing and expanding. So it's a really cool show that sort of captures a time capsule too from about 2014 to 2018 of things going on vegan-wise. And now we've just grown even more, right? So it's out there. It exists. If you're traveling, check out the Vegan Roadie. And I have a podcast called Keep On Cooking. So the podcast focuses on vegan cookbooks. My whole purpose here for everyone is to make vegan cooking as accessible and easy and welcoming as possible, right? So Keep On Cooking focuses on a new cookbook every episode. And in that, I interview the author and we talk about, it's basically like a behind the scenes of the book. This is my 3rd book, Epic Vegan Quick and Easy, and I love writing cookbooks. So I thought I really want to talk to other cookbook authors and see what they have to say about their books. So we have them on, we go through the book chapter by chapter, we talk about their favorite recipes, their inspiration for recipes, we talk about their history in cooking and why they wrote the book. So it's a really, really fun podcast. Comes out every Tuesday. There's a brand new episode. We've got Miyoko Shinner's coming up to talk about her new book, the Vegan Meat Cookbook. We just had Candace Hutchins on from The Edgy Veg. Lauren Toyota was on a couple weeks ago from Hot for Food. Chloe Coscarelli's been on. Terry Hope Romero, Jason Robel. Some really great guests come on that show. So if you get a chance, check out the Keep On Cooking podcast as well. So we have our cheese sauce here. I'm going to show you here in the camera. See if I can get it up here.
Love it. Oh, yeah. Okay. Look at this, everybody. Woo!
I have my obsession. I went to the Natural Gourmet Institute for culinary school, and the only reason I really went to cooking school, I think, was because I was obsessed with making a vegan mac and cheese. I don't really think I learned it there, but I was like, I'm obsessed with making the best mac and cheese ever. So every cookbook of mine has a mac and cheese or a mac and cheese variation or some form of mac and cheese in it. This one's really cool because I got to do the one-pot mac and cheese where we can make it all in one pot. But then I also make a really quick sauce that you can make in your blender using pureed pumpkin. So either fresh steamed pumpkin or pumpkin from a can. You don't even have to cut that pumpkin open. So you can make the sauce with pumpkin from a can, and then you can bake it if you want, put like a buttery potato chip topping on it or something. So we have our cooked pasta here.
All right, everybody, look at this epic food. Come along here with the Vegan Roadie Dustin Harder. You can find him on YouTube as well as, like you said, Plant-Based Network. If you're just joining us, we are here live with Lunch Break Live Daily Show, as you know, and you're going to be able to find this recipe on janeunchained.com. Okay. Check it out, everybody. Wow. And everybody's take on mac and cheese is different. I mean, you put some things in there. I don't think I've done turmeric before.
Sure. The seasoning, right? That's what we're trying to get with the vegan mac and cheese is get some sort of cheesy flavor, right? A lot of people will do some cashew sauces and stuff, and they don't really season it that much, and you're like, oh, I just have like a cashew sauce here. Don't get me wrong, I'll still probably eat it, but it is nice when it has a little bit of seasoning to it, right? We're all about flavors in the vegan world. That's how we're excelling, right? It's how we're showing everybody that anything you can do, I can do vegan. So we've got a grate here. I want to show it to you before I dish it up. A grate looks like mac and cheese, just like mac and cheese. Crafty 1-pound mac and cheese. So literally like the kind you would get in the box back in the day, right? Yeah. So let me dish some up here.
Okay, now how did you become so natural in front of the camera? What is your background? Like this, you are made for this.
I appreciate it. My history is in theater. Shocker.
There we go.
I got a fierce jazz hand there. And I actually was working on Broadway on a show. I was doing the revival to Annie. When I ventured into culinary school, the show was about to close, and I knew I was going to go out on the road with the tour in 6 months. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take a break from theater. So I took a break from theater, went to culinary school, and in the middle of that is when I decided I was going to do the Vegan Roadie, and then it was on. I just kind of didn't stop, and now this is what I do. I'm the culinary director at a brand here in Atlanta called Arden's Garden, so we do all whole foods, plant-based stuff, and we have 18 retail locations. I make food for them, and I manage a team, and we fulfill the food production for 18 different retail locations, all fresh food daily. So it's all just one thing after another when it came to vegan food. I just kept going and getting excited about it, and then writing another book and doing the show. So theater led into this, and then we'll see what happens next. You never know, right?
I love it. I knew there was something special about you. Did you ever come to Los Angeles with any of your shows? Did you, or did you mostly stay in New York there?
When we filmed, I went all around America. In California, I did San Francisco, though. When I got to California, I was like, ooh, I need to decide where I'm going to go here. It was very hard. LA, I decided not to do because I was just like, I feel like there's too much and there's no way. Everyone always expects me to cover it all. There's no possible way to cover everything in any city, especially now. But at the time, I remember being very intimidated by covering Los Angeles. And I also didn't, even though I lived in New York for the last 20 years, I didn't cover New York either because I was like, there's just too much. And in New York, I had like personal connections at restaurants I knew. So I was like, I don't want to film here and not film there and have this person get mad at me. So I ended up not doing New York or LA. But for the future, that's the best part. We have it for the future.
Look at this, everybody. Oh, bring it even close. Oh.
I'm going to garnish it real quick first. Even though I love quick recipes, I'm all about the garnish. It really finishes off your dish. But I talk about garnishes in my book. It's not required. If you're putting a dish on the table on a busy weeknight for your family, don't feel like you have to garnish that stuff, okay? I put a little vegan almond parmesan on there, which there's a recipe in the book for. It's called Instant Vegan Crumble. Comes together in about 2 minutes. And you get this other little leaf here. Hello, little guy.
Hey, Dustin, here's something I just thought of.
Yes.
Everybody, if you're cooking at home more, guess what? You are more eco. And when you make something from scratch, like you just said, Parmesan, vegan parm made from scratch rather than buying it pre-made, there's an eco tip right there, everybody. So cooking these things from scratch is more eco-friendly. Bam!
For Earth Day, happy Earth Day, everyone.
That's right.
You can call it Earth Day mac. So look here's our finished mac and cheese. And so it's a delicious sort of nutritional based sauce with some cooked elbow pasta. We got some almond Parmesan crumble on there. A little bit of crushed red pepper because I love crushed red pepper. I love the heat. And a little slice of some basil leaves on there. Just tasty, tasty. I always want to make things pretty when I put them on the table. But again, if you're busy on a weekday night, don't worry about the garnishes. It's not going to end the day. You know, you don't have to garnish everything. It's still going to be delicious all said and done. Let me clear these really quick.
Exactly. You know, garnish is a nice special touch. And I bet you garnish everything, though, because you're a true chef over there.
I do. Guilty. There's usually just Parmesan sitting, I mean, not Parmesan, but parsley sitting in the fridge for me to just sprinkle on anything.
Yeah.
Butter jelly sandwich, let me garnish that really quick with parsley, okay? All right, we're going to move on to the Made in Minutes pizza cups, okay? I want to show you this photo in the book because my dear friend Ashley Madden at Rise Shine Cook did the photos for these. These are the Made in Minutes pizza cups. And these are just something really fun that you can put together for the kids, or you can put together for a Netflix and chill night, like anything like that. And you can choose your own toppings, which is the best part, you know. And they come together so quickly and with ease, and ingredients that you can just get in the store, at any store, really, really, really. And this is the one pot mac and cheese. We got a picture up there as well. But so
hey, Dustin, do you know somebody named Marlon Harder by chance?
I don't, but I'm always shocked when someone asks me if I know somebody with the last name Harder and I don't know who they are because I feel like I should. There's not many of them.
All right. Marlon, we are Vegan Roadie here is making outrageous vegan crafty one-pot mac, which is already done, that one-pot mac and cheese, and making these made-in-minute pizza cups. We're going to see how it does those right now, everybody. Dun, 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 dun.
So,
Dustin Harder. Go ahead. Sorry, take it away.
Sorry. Made minutes pizza cups, you want to grease the inside of your muffin tin, right? So you're going to use a muffin tin to make these. You can use the cooking spray if you want. You can dab this. This one I dabbed it in a little bit of oil in a ramekin, and then I just brushed the insides. That's going to make it easier to pop your pizza cups out when they're done, okay? So we have 2 ways to cut our circles here. You can either use a biscuit cutter like this, okay? So it's 2 tortillas right here. 2 tortillas, you want to get 12 circles out of them, all right? And to do that, I'm going to take my biscuit cutter, and I can do that easily with that, okay? But if you got a can of pizza sauce, you can also clean it out, and when the top's off, clean it out, and then you can use that to make your rings with. It's a little more finicky than the biscuit cutter, but it is still totally doable. There we go. I got one out. Maybe you need to do it one tortilla at a time instead of 2. I tend to get a little overzealous here. Yeah, that works a little better there. There we go. So you got your tortillas right there. So we'll continue cutting this out. I'm going to use the biscuit cutter because I have one. I just wanted to give you you don't have to buy a biscuit cutter if you don't want to. You can use the top of a jar to do that. You can use the top of a glass. But again, as you saw, it's a little more tricky than the biscuit cutter, but still possible. So you don't have to buy a bunch of special brand new tools to make this at home, okay? And for the scraps, I'm not going to show you how to do it on here today, but see, you're left over with these scraps. What are you supposed to do with those, right? Let me tell you what you're supposed to do with those. You can cut these up. So I'm going to fold it up like this.
Look at this. Zero waste, everybody. Check this out. Another tip.
You got to use everything, right?
Exactly. The Vegan Roadie is making it happen right here in the kitchen. Everybody, thank you for joining us. What do we have going on with those scraps?
So with the scraps of your tortilla, you can heat up a little canola oil in a frying pan and then toss these in there and just fry them up really quick. Sprinkle with a little bit of salt. They're perfect for like a salad topper or anything you want to do like that. They're just delicious to eat by themselves. Though can't be left alone with them because I will eat them all.
What about, could we do a little cinnamon sugar?
Absolutely. That's a fantastic idea. Now I'm super sad I didn't put that in the book. That's amazing.
Oh, okay. Well, next book.
Yeah, so good. You can even bake them up if you wanted to. You would just want to put a little oil on them so they crisp up a little bit if frying's not your thing. But that's a great way to use those scraps up, right?
Yeah.
So for our pizza cups, we're just going to pop these into, can we see there what I'm doing? Yeah, so we popped it in. See that one? You just push it down just ever slightly in there so you get just round it a little because you're going to put sauce on it. But you can also kind of just, woo, there goes my biscuit cutter. Good thing I'm done with it. So
it happened. We're live. That's the beauty. Dropping, burning, alarms going off.
Thankfully not burnt yet. What I didn't mention, which I'm curious if anyone clocked it, is I talked about the onion powder, garlic powder, and the turmeric, and I forgot to put it in the pan. But it happened. It happened.
But you did get, was it miso you put in there?
I got the miso in there. Yeah. It'll still be delicious with all the other things, but I'll probably mix it in a little bit later into these right here. Because, I'm going to have this for dinner, of course. Okay. So we've got our pizza sauce. Listen, get the can, get the jar, make it from scratch. Don't yell at me if I'm not making it from scratch. I make it from scratch all the time. Today I didn't because I'm keeping it quick and easy, just like the book says. But you do you. I'm not mad at you. It's up to you. Get whatever you need, whatever makes cooking easiest for you, okay? We all don't have time in our day to be making sauce from scratch all the time, but if you do, I'm coming over for dinner. That's exciting.
All right. Now you are in Atlanta, Georgia, and have you found some of your favorites there? Some of your favorite vegan?
Well, it's interesting because of the pandemic. No, we haven't. I haven't been going to restaurants. There was a really great place. I think it's called VBQ. Maybe it's vegan barbecue. I loved that place. It was delicious. And since I work in food all day, I really haven't. I have food all the time. But I'm excited to get back out there and start visiting some places and see. You know, of course, there's plant-based pizzeria. I love them out here. But yeah, there's lots of stuff, and all new stuff seems to keep popping up in Atlanta all the time. I was excited when I moved here to try some things, but it just seems to keep exploding. So there's going to be more and more for me to try as time passes. We've put sauce on each tortilla here. Then we're going to do a little cheese. I like it saucy, so I put a tablespoon of sauce on each tortilla. But that's really your call. To me, the more sauce, the more pizza-y it is. And these crisp up really nicely when they bake, so you don't just have like a mushy tortilla.
Okay.
Of Atlanta places, that restaurants I've been to, because I know that I haven't not just gone to any. We have gotten some takeout because I've wanted to support small businesses during the pandemic as well, but nothing's coming to mind.
Right. There's a group called We Are Impactors, so you guys can go and check it out. That basically is supporting vegan restaurants staying open. But here's what I want to say. I just really got fully present. I wish I knew this recipe when my kids were kids, but I'm still going to make this recipe because when you're sitting there Netflix and chill or Amazon Prime and you're watching, you know, maybe our cooking show, New Day, New Chef, or you're watching your show, or we're watching your show on YouTube.
Yes.
Perfect with like a nice little side Caesar salad, you know, vegan Caesar. Oh my gosh. And maybe like put 4 on a plate, you know, like, or maybe you're going to go for 6, but like,
it's hard to stop eating them once you start.
And then you put different toppings too, if you want to, right? Is that what I'm just getting?
You want, but I don't want to zoom past New Day, New Chef, just swiping all those awards, honey. We got to talk about that. How exciting is that?
So exciting.
Congratulations.
Yes. The Jane Unchained and Inspired collaboration. Eamon McChrystal, amazing producer to work with. Jane just had a blast. Yes, we had a lot of fun that first season, and then it was a pandemic season, and then they just shot another season last week. I know. It's been incredible coming out. I guess I could say that. Oops, maybe I wasn't supposed to. Woo. Anyway, yeah. So head on over there and watch it now. I love it. I really want to say we got to get your book though, because this is so cool. And you're doing like a pre-launch right now because it's not even out yet. Is that right? Tell us about where we can get that book.
Yes, you can pre-order the book anywhere you pre-order it right now. Send the proof of purchase. If you go to veganroadie.com, there's a little button you'll click on, an email pops up. You just attach your proof of purchase, and then you get a free ebook of epic extra recipes that didn't make it into the book because we can only always get so many in. And I always have a bunch left over that they're like my babies. I have to like cut them out of the final manuscript to hit the final, you know, to come down to the final word count. Because I always go over. I'm always like, well, no. I'm like, these recipes are brilliant enough that they'll let me put all of them in, you know, but the book can only be so big, right? So now we've got some extra ones available for you. With the pre-order of the book, just send that proof of purchase right on into veganroadie.com. You go there and it's all set. You'll get the book in your inbox.
Woohoo! Okay, now do you have friends and family that are in transition, heading into plant-based? Into the plant-based space, and what are your 3 top tips? 3 top tips for transitioning into the plant-based space.
Absolutely. I've always known people that are transitioning into plant-based food, and it excites me, and it's more now than ever do I have people that are really, really interested in exploring it. And my first bit of advice is to take it one step at a time. It's your journey. You don't have to do it the way anybody else says. If you are hooked on a certain kind of food and you're terrified of losing it, then focus on other things and how you can switch other plant-based products into your life. Find plant-based foods that you love. The thing is, you know, we all love and dislike different kinds of foods, whether they're plant-based or not. So I guarantee you there's plant-based foods out there that you love. And don't let anybody tell you that it's wrong or it's right if you're eating vegan one way or another way. You got to do whatever's right for you to start going down that path that you're interested in, right? So that's number 1. Number 2, as we're talking about finding those things, find the things that you do really love and find the substitute for them, because we're in 2021. There's so many amazing products out on the market. There's no way there isn't a replacement for what you want right now. Give or take a couple major things, there's pretty much something out there for everything right now, you know? And number 3 is just be nice to yourself. Be nice to yourself. Like, if you're going great for a week and then you slip up, I don't consider it a slip up. I consider it part of life, and it just is what happens. You just pick up the next day, you start over and commit to doing plant-based your way again. That's my top 3 tips.
I love it. I got the numbering a little screwed up over here, everybody, but just go with it because I was taking notes. But we do know the final tip is be nice to yourself. Do it your way. Find the substitutes that you love. Find plant-based foods that you love. And then I believe you said also take it one step at a time, everybody. Take it one step at a time. Amazing. Those are really valuable.
Yeah. And they, they're tips that have helped me out along the way as well. It was when I went vegan, it was about 12 years ago. And I remember feeling very intimidated and discouraged by a lot of people that I met, a lot of vegans who were like, well, you can't eat that and still be vegan, or you can't do this, or like, well, that's not vegan enough. We call them the vegan police, and you ain't got to worry about them, okay? Let them do their own thing, and you keep doing what you're doing and keep trying to do the best that you can. I would like to think we all wake up every day just trying to be a little better than we were the day before. And if you're doing that and you're not trying to hurt anyone, you're trying to just be a little better, then you're doing a good job. Yay for you, right? You know?
Yes, 100%. Okay, everybody, are you ready for this?
Ooh, we've got our made in minutes pizza cups here. Now, let me tell you, you put the oven on 425, and like I was saying, there's lots of great products out there these days. So today, my toppings, I chose mozzarella cheese from VioLife. Lots of great mozzarella shreds out there. You got Miyoko's got shreds now, VioLife. Follow your heart, Dea. Everybody's got shreds, and they all melt pretty nicely these days. And recipes that were not great 10 years ago have improved. Dea has improved. So like lots of things have improved over time as well. And there's new things on the market. Like I use Simple Truth Chorizo today, which is like the Kroger brand of plant-based meats that they've got out. And then I used red onion and green pepper. So we've got lots of different things in here from lots of different flavors, different textures, different colors. So you can make a really pretty pizza out of this, right? Because again, you can make just a cheese one, which I love. Don't get me wrong, I love a cheese one. But there's nothing better when we'll put these in the oven, but then we'll also do a little bit of TV magic, honeys, because we've got some finished ones right here. And I'm gonna actually take the finished ones and sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan all over this lovely little plate, because I think that's pretty. Maybe a little basil leaf here, a little basil leaf there.
Epic, y'all.
Epic.
Dustin, I have to tell you, when I first was exploring, I found your Epic with that vegan burger on it with the drippy juicy at a local restaurant that has it for sale to book. And I remember saying, this guy seems like he's got it going on. I'm going to follow this dude. So I started following you even 4 years ago. All right, look at this, everybody. How gorgeous.
So we got all those pizza cups there, all right? And we got all those colors and textures there. So nice. And like I said, great brands doing great things these days, trying to get vegan food to more people. So it's really cool.
This has been so much fun, right, everybody? Come on, check it out. You're going to want to grab this book right here. Easy breezy, quick and easy, epic, delicious. Vegan Roadie, this has been so much fun.
You're the best. Thank you for having me.
We absolutely love having you on. If you haven't seen the interview between Jane and Dustin, you can go back in the archives and find that, everybody, by the way. Cynthia wants to know, she loves your energy.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And the book is out June 1st, so you have about a month to pre-order it now. And then you can still get that proof of purchase in at veganroadie.com to get your epic extras as well.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us here on Lunch Break Live, janeunchained.com. more segments with Dustin. Yes, he's a pretty busy guy. We would love to have him back. It's up to him. We'll put the ball in your court, Dustin. We'll put the spatula back onto your table. All right, everybody. Thanks again for joining us here on JaneUnchained.com. Jane Velez Mitchell's Jane Unchained News. And we'll see you next time. Vegan Roadie Dustin Harder. Find him all over the place where you do your social media. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye.